Hey! Hi, how you doing? This is Ryan, and welcome back to the Gamertron Show. Now, I've made it no secret on this YouTube channel that I love brand new video games, modern video games. I do not subscribe to the ideology of old good, new bad. As a matter of fact, I vehemently oppose it. So many of my favorite video games of all time are recent modern releases. Elden Ring, Solstice, Kena Bridge of Spirits, Grime, Doom Eternal, Remnant from the Ashes, Control, Monster Hunter World. All these games and many, many more are games that have just come out in the past 5 years alone. Exceptional products, brilliant works of art, one-of-a-kind experiences that I highly recommend. I love modern gaming, indie and AAA alike. I will never not defend the quality of modern video games, and I will at every opportunity oppose and debunk anyone who says that modern gaming sucks, modern gaming is dying, that we don't get any good new video games nowadays, that there were only good video games back in the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. This perspective, this opinion even, is ignorant, toxic, and just straight up objectively false. Now, with all that being said, the opposite opinion, the opposite perspective, that older video games suck, that they're unplayable, that they haven't aged well whatsoever, that if you're not playing what the cool, new, modern, popular video game on YouTube or Twitch is, well, that's just plain uncool. I gotta say, participating in such behavior is really fucking silly. Since the releases of the Dead Space remake and the Resident Evil 4 remake, there are those who have stated that, well, now that the remakes are here, there's no reason to go back and play the originals. That is truly absurd. The existence of video game remakes does not diminish the value of the original games. There are differences and unique qualities to them that can still be experienced and appreciated. Both games are good. They're both quality products. They're both works of art. They're both unique experiences from one another. The existence of one doesn't disqualify the other, and there's absolutely no reason to lambast and shit on them. Original or remake, old or new, a good video game is still a good video game. That all of a sudden doesn't just magically change as the years go by. Just because the year is 2023 and the original Pac-Man came out in 1980, does that all of a sudden mean that the original Pac-Man is now unplayable and no longer fun to anyone at all? Of course not. As much as I hated when old school gamers shit on modern video games, I also hate it when modern gamers shit on old school video games. I say yet again, a good game is a good game, doesn't matter the year it came out. For goodness sakes, some of the most beloved, some of the most renowned, some of the truly best video games of all time are old as hell. They're called classics for a reason. I mean, imagine not playing the original BioShock just because it's old. Imagine not playing Half-Life 2 just because it's old. Imagine not playing Red Faction Guerrilla just because it's old. Imagine not playing Fear just because it's old. My God. Imagine not playing The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim or the original Dark Souls just because they're old games. Depriving yourself of these experiences hurts no one else but yourself. All of your favorite modern video games were inspired by and built upon the foundations laid by these older classic titles. Two of my favorite video games of all time, my favorite first-person shooters of all time, Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal, I would not have these games that I love oh so dearly if it wasn't for the original Doom trilogy. We owe it to ourselves to check out and experience and preserve the trendsetters, the originals, these pioneers of new gameplay mechanics and storytelling. I promise you, playing older video games, playing the original classics will help you appreciate video games overall, even more so than you may already do. Personally speaking, so many of my favorite video games of all time are older games. The first two Borderlands, the whole Dead Space original trilogy, the Crysis trilogy, the Prototype games, the first two Darksiders games, the original Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine, BioShock 2, Hot take, I know, but I personally prefer BioShock 2 over BioShock 1. Yes, I am indeed one of those people. BioShock 2 is the best BioShock game in the whole trilogy, and I will die on this hill. Oh, these next two old school favorites of mine are a bit obscure, but I love them all the same. Advent Rising and The Eye of the Dragon. There's so many cool and wonderful and unique old school video games that are obscure, underrated, unheard of. There's literally thousands upon thousands of video games that you have not checked out and played that could be your next favorite. This is yet another reason I am so critical of the notion that video games suck overall. The overall video game industry is awful and sucks and there's no good games to play. Dumbass, you literally have decades worth of content that you have not experienced at your fingertips. We're talking about thousands upon thousands of AAA, AA, and indie games that have released over the past 40 years. So trust me, there's more than enough quality, genuinely good video games for you to play. It's so bizarre how gamers, the video gaming community, treats video games and how they consume them so completely differently than how they view and consume film, television, and books. With the original Star Wars, the very first Star Wars movie, it doesn't matter that the film came out so many decades ago. Everyone of all ages at any given time actively choose to, want to, watch this film, simply because it's a good film. Then you look at video games and the gaming community and this obsession with release dates and current popularity. When did the game come out? Is it currently getting high viewership numbers on Twitch? What? Why in the world would you care about that? A good game is a good game, just as a good movie is a good movie. Star Wars, the original Star Wars, is still a good movie. The passing of time hasn't changed that. Just as the passing of time hasn't affected the quality of these old video games. What is this weird double standard with video games that isn't applied to film, television, and books? It's so strange. Now, as I've said in many videos, video games are indeed products, but they're also art, and art is timeless. Now, of course, this should go without saying, but I'll say it anyways just in case. You are not going to personally like and enjoy every video game ever, and there are several old school classic video games that you might pick up and play and try out, and they just don't click for you. You don't personally find them fun, and that is totally okay. When it comes to me personally, there are several beloved all-time classic video games that are hailed as some of the greatest video games of all time that I personally don't care for, don't find fun, or even some that I actively dislike. But I still nonetheless appreciated that I played these games at all, just so at the very least I could acquire a base level understanding as to why someone might enjoy or absolutely love this game more so than I do. The mere chance of not liking, not enjoying a piece of content shouldn't scare you away from consuming content. You won't truly know what all of your tastes and preferences are unless you try. Take a chance. Yes, you're not going to like and enjoy everything, but alas, as over the top as this may sound, part of being a human being is discovery. Discovering yourself, embracing curiosity, trying new things. So, I implore you, if you're a gamer, if you love video games, if you're a video game hobbyist, enthusiast, try out, check out older video games. And not just older video games, explore other genres of games that you don't usually check out and play. Intimidated by fighting games? Give one a chance. Real-time strategy games look a bit too overwhelming? Just play through the tutorial. See how it goes, see how it feels. Don't only just give these games a chance, give yourself a chance. In the end, however, I just want to make this clear, video games, all video games, are awesome. Doesn't matter how old or how new they are. They're an incredible medium filled to the brim with extraordinary works of art. And while it's nearly impossible to experience all of it, don't let the release date of a video game, of all things, be the deterrent that keeps you away from playing a game that might turn out to be one of your new all-time favorite video game experiences. Anyways, that's been a video. Thank you for watching. If you did indeed like the video in any way, shape, or form, please be sure to hit the like button. And if you want to help out and support the video, then please share it on social media, Twitter, Reddit, and Facebook. And if you want to help out and support me directly, please consider making a donation via using the Super Thanks feature here on YouTube, or by donating by clicking on the links to my Buy Me a Coffee page or my Ko-Fi page in the description down below. Anyways, once again, that's been a video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later.